It's been a miner's bathhouse. Stick with me. It's been a miner's bathhouse. It's been a pub. And now it's going to be... Is quaint an appropriate word? A quaint community cinema. The Moston Project has transformed the old bar in the miners' community centre with the help of local people and businesses who've donated everything to form a new 70-seater cinema. Our reporter, Michelle Adamson, in the lights, of course, she loves the lights, is there for us now.
Good morning, Alan. Yes,
Yeah, hang on, I've not said action yet.
Oh, sorry, action?
Action.
That's a bit of action for you. That's a drill.
Ooh.
There's some last-minute alterations going here. Final preparations for the opening of the cinema here on Teddington Road in Moston. And this is quite an amazing achievement. I'm actually in the cinema. I'm going to sit on one of the plush red seats. These are real, authentic 1920s cinema seat with the cast iron legs. And I'm just leaning back now, reclining in front of the screen. There's already a bit of a test going on. The screen is up and ready to run this weekend when they open. And to the left of me is the bar where you'll be able to get all the normal cinema refreshments, popcorn, hot dogs, I'm told. But with me this morning are a couple of people who can tell us exactly how this has all come about. Lou Beckett actually owns the building here on Teddington Road. Now, this has got quite an interesting history, Lou, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was a miner's bathhouse to start off with, and the pit head was just across the road there. And then it turned into a working men's club, which fell into disrepair in the 80s, and then early 90s it shut down because of the committee. It just folded up, and vandals come in, wrecked the place, ripped all the heating out, the boilers, everything else, and so it was just a shell really. Then me and my dad come in and started doing it up, yeah. And
so at the moment you've got a cafe going here, haven't you?
the cafe's open, yes, 6 days a week. That's for the local community. They use it all the time, and yeah, it's just a place for people to come and socialise, really, yeah.
So what did you make of the idea when it was suggested that you could have a cinema here?
Yeah, it's fantastic, yeah. Well, it's called Miners Community Arts and Music Place, so it's part of the arts, so yeah, it was just a fantastic idea, yeah.
So you've got a few things going on, like comedy and music events here?
Yeah, comedy nights once every month. We have local drama groups that come and rehearse, drummers, bands come and rehearse, use the building. Yeah, it's used quite a lot, yeah.
Now, it has taken only 8 weeks to turn this into a cinema in this big room at the back of the centre here. And this has been quite a feat, because what was this room like before you transformed it?
It was a mess. It was just a massive storeroom, just full of rubbish. But rubbish, one man's rubbish is, whatever you say, another man's gold or whatever. But yeah, we managed to salvage most of the rubbish and turn it into a cinema. Yeah.
This is absolutely stunning. Also with me is Corenza McLarnon, who works for Budlear. That's an arts group that sets certain projects up. Now, how did this all come about, this idea? Obviously, Lou's got the building and the space. How did it come about, this idea of having a cinema here?
Well, I've been developing projects sort of in and around North Manchester for the last couple of years. And I invite artists to come and set projects up and to work in these types of settings, working closely with people in collaborative projects. So I heard about the small cinema project that Sam Meach and Redoc have been doing up in Liverpool and the Wirral, around that kind of way. And I thought it'd be a kind of perfect project to bring to Manchester, because this type of project hadn't happened, as far as I was aware, in Manchester before. So when I was invited to do some work back up in North Manchester earlier this year, I thought this would be a brilliant project to sort of hit the ground running with, really. Because you know, everyone gets cinema, everyone likes cinema, and so invited Sam to come, and we were looking around different parts of North Manchester, and we'd heard about the miners, and we just thought we'd pop in and see what it was all about. But of course, when we came in and we met Joe and Lou and saw what they were doing here in the kind of heart of a housing estate, we just thought this was fantastic. Where else, where better place could a cinema be but back in the centre of a community, really. So we were both really excited about the prospect, and really it just went from there. I mean, it started off with, the project had been in existence elsewhere previously in kind of different forms, but really it's taken its own momentum and it's grown in scale, and the fact that we've got a permanent space, which is something we never even conceived. It was always kind of a temporary, intervention type of project where we just sort of do some engagement and then probably just, you know, head off again at the end of a weekend. Whereas this is on a different scale.
And this is going to be permanent. And we're going to talk a bit more about the people who've been involved in this project, because the tiles I'm standing on next to the bar are reclaimed from a local solicitors. We've got paint from the local paint firm. The chairs, those lovely plush 1920 cinema seats, are from a cinema in Liverpool. But we're going to find out a bit more from John, who's one of the amazing volunteers later on, who's been doing drilling all the handiwork and the nuts and bolts of it, actually, about how it's all come about. And also from Sam, the artist, who's going to be telling us about the first film to be shown here on Saturday.
Brilliant, Michelle. Thank you very much. We'll be back with Michelle a little later. A former miners' bathhouse and pub, to be fair, in Moston has been turned into a community centre, or a community cinema no less, complete with 1920 seats, proper ones. Yeah, cinema's been created by a team of local volunteers. It opens on Friday, but not wanting to be late, our reporter Michelle Adamson's there right now.
Yes, Alan. Oh, there's a last-minute bit of building work going on here because this has been created from scratch. The bar here in the cinema, the 70-seater cinema, and Teddington Road in Moston. Well, we've got nails, roll plugs, drills, hammers, still a lot of stuff going on. But on Friday, this bar will have hot dogs, popcorn, and possibly even a bit of Kia Ora for you, Alan. We'll have to see. But this, as I said, has been created from doing the was actually Sam Meach, who's an artist who's been involved in this project. And what you're actually drilling there, Sam?
Well, I'm just on the last final touches. I'm making a donation box for the front desk. This is to encourage people to donate, because during the festival week, all the workshops, all the films are free. But obviously we've got to pay for the electricity. But it's just part of the contribution thing, getting people to think about how sustainable cinema can be in a community.
So how have you got involved with all this then?
I was the one who came up with the daft idea, and I've been working in sort of North Manchester, getting to know Moston and New Moston since about March or April, and speaking to people about cinema and what's important to them about cinema, collecting memories, and developing this proposal for a festival.
How easy or hard has this been to get this all together in just 8 weeks?
It's been a massive effort, but a massive effort with a lot of contributions from a lot of people. So as hard as it's been, there's been a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of hard work, a lot of contributions of time and money, materials in kind and stuff. And we've had the great backing and support of Manchester City Council, who've just really got behind this idea. And I think that's kind of enthused other people as well.
Talk about one of the people who's been doing some of that hard work, and this is John Marley. He sort of project managed this whole thing, because this room we're in now, which is now fully fledged 70-seater cinema, was actually just a room full of a lot of rubbish, in fact. And you have been instrumental, John, in actually transforming it. What have you been doing?
Well, when we first arrived here, it's an absolute burnt-out wreck, full of dead pigeons, and you name it, it's all here. But now, as you can see, it's a very, very plush auditorium, whether that be a cinema or a theatre. I mean, it's not akin to the likes of the Opera House and the Palace. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. And all that you do see is a contribution from people, whether it be businesses, whether that be volunteers. And certainly in terms of materials, I mean, you look at the seats there, they came from the Plaza Cinema in Liverpool. You look at the carpet tiles, you look at the walls, you look at everything that's in here, it's all a contribution.
And you've even got spotlights in the stairs going up to the seats, so it's, all authentic touches, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the whole auditorium, the way we decided to build it was going to be exactly as you would want to build a cinema or a theatre. And it does look exactly like we've spent £1 million on it. In actual fact, though, it is made out of contributions from others, and we put the Wombles to shame, quite frankly.
Well, one of the other people who's helped out here is Howard. Now, you were telling me about sort of how this is great, because it's a real nostalgic feel to this, isn't it? Because it's a real old-style cinema.
Said it's got that vaudevillian feel about it. It's just with the red plush velvet seats and the gold bottoms, the stands to them, and the rake on the cinema. You're not just sitting or looking up. For the top with your girlfriend, your partner, your kids. And you get that real.
Okay, and the first film, apparently, the big screen film, is Jaws.
Oh, wow. Wow, fantastic. You swallowed the whole cinema. Michelle Adamson at the cinema. Jaws is going to be their first film out. Absolutely fantastic.